Hey everyone, it's KB. What a morning, hey? I just thought I'd come on and be with you for a little bit. As we are all obviously waking up to the news of Bob Proctor's passing this morning or overnight. And I've just been reading through all of your beautiful comments on my post, and I can feel all the love, and I know that he can too. So I just thought I'd come on with you a little bit and spend a little bit of time with you to give back. I really appreciate all your comments and all the love that you've been sending this way in here in the Facebook group, but also over on Instagram and my Brook business page and my personal page. I just want to say thank you so much for leaving those little notes, and I really appreciate it, and the love is definitely being felt. I also want to send my condolences, as I'm sure you all do, to Linda, Bob's beautiful wife, his children, Colleen, Brian and Raymond. I know Brian really well, so very sad time for them, but I believe that they did get to spend quite a lot of time with Bob over the last little bit. So that's really nice to know that they got to spend some quality time with Bob. And also for you to know that Bob was very happy with his decision to transition. He was very much at peace with his decision to transition. And as he has taught us all, he always used to say, I remember at seminars, if someone had lost a loved one, or, you know, how do you grieve? And he'd always talk about, you know, dry those tears, they're still here. We're used to communicating with people on the physical plane, you know, through words and gestures, but to remember that when a person passes over and when they transition, that we can still communicate with them. We just communicate through vibration, through thoughts and through energy. And so for each and every one of you that are also feeling sad today, just know that he is still here. He's in another form now, in the non-physical, and he's still guiding you and supporting you, and you can still talk to him, and you can still, you know, what would Bob do? I know that some of you also had it on your vision board and your goal to meet him. And so there'll be a little bit of sadness around that, I'm sure, but it's okay. Again, just, you know that he's in your heart now, and he really is everywhere for you, and you can talk to him and be with him, and it's even better. You know, you used to have to wait in a long line to talk to him at events. So you've got all the time in the world now to sit and have a conversation with him, and he's always listening. So, you know, I think that these are just really important little messages to remind you of, not only with Bob's passing, but, you know, if anyone that you love, you've lost them, that there's a non-physical side to us and there's a physical side to them. Quite interesting that yesterday, actually, the community Zoom call that I did was on the invisible side of success, talking about, you know, how to leverage the non-physical and really use the non-physical side of you to support the physical side of the goals that you want to accomplish. So, you know, everything that I was talking about yesterday, Bob has taught me over the years, and I feel so blessed for that. And, you know, my heart doesn't feel, how do I explain it? It's, you know, it doesn't feel heartbroken. It feels humbled. It feels grateful. Of course, there's a sadness. I feel sad that he never got to meet Eddie, that the last 2 years we haven't been able to travel. And so much of my life was spent going to Toronto, going and being with him 3, 4, 5 times a year, speaking on stage in Los Angeles with him, becoming the best teacher of this material to help you in the best way, spending as much time as I could with him to learn and understand how to coach you with this, how to get better as a PGI consultant with the Thinking into Results program. You know, even just the redesign of that last year, the new Thinking into Results, was totally inspired by the level of awareness that I had gained for so long in working with him so closely in how to make that an even more purposeful, powerful experience for you. So, yeah, there is that sadness that I didn't get to spend more time with him physically over the last couple of years. But, that's been the case for lots and lots of people in the world, millions of people in the world. We've been separated. But it's just a great reminder that we never are, that, we have our minds, and our minds are so powerful, and we live and create in an infinite quantum world where there's no such thing as time and space. And that you have the power and capacity to really, create the circumstances that you want for your life and create what you want. And I'm so blessed, feel very blessed every day that not only did he really teach me that step-by-step process, exactly how it all comes together, but that every day I get to wake up and teach you that as well through my programs and coaching, and really, continue to pass on to you and teach you and empower you with his legacy that he literally spent right to his last day becoming better at. At 26 years of age, when he was handed Think and Grow Rich, and Ray Stanford said, you can do, have anything that you really want, but you need to do exactly what I tell you to do. He followed direction. He was such a great student, and he was always such a great student. And he literally, he changed his life. He quit his job at the fire department. He never went very far through high school, Bob. So he started a cleaning business, and he took that cleaning business. He was $4,000 or $6,000 in debt. To a year later, built it over $100,000, and 4 years later to $1 million business. He had, cleaning business in countries all around the world, and he couldn't understand, how his life had changed so much, that he was sick, tired, broke. He'd come from a family background that didn't have a lot. And when he figured out what he had done, he wanted to understand it. He went to work with Earl Nightingale, packed up his family, went to work with Earl Nightingale in Chicago. He became head of sales there. He knew they were asking what he was doing, and he was like, I was just studying, I was using the material, and and he always even had a vision then of how he could do it better, sharing this information with people. And eventually he went out on his own and really took everything that he had learned through his own experiences and started to teach and sell programs and sell recordings. And he just had this deep passion for people to also understand this. And every single day he would wake up and he would study, and he would do his gratitude, and he would write with his opposite hand. And if you've been in a program with me at one time or another, these little things that I just pass on to you. And he spent the rest of his life doing that. He would have been 88 in July, and he literally, like every single day, he just got up and thought, there's more to know, there's more to understand. He always kept setting goals. He would never let circumstances influence him. He would never look at his results and let his results be a measure of the person that he was. He let his imagination. He teaches you to think. He taught me to think, to really leverage the power of the whole of my mind. And that's what I just feel so privileged that I can continue to do and share with you with the new Thinking into Results program, and share that blueprint and that process. And, it's been the most amazing 7 years to have spent so much time with him, and to also be at the forefront of the PGI consultant program. Like when I became a consultant in 2015, the start of 2015, Eva and I in Ireland, Doug Dane, head of sales now, like there was just very few of us doing anything significant with it, like it was sort of there. And it was a vision, but it was certainly in its infancy. And, so I feel also really privileged that my intuition led me when it did, to really drive and be a part of that growth, and to bring the program back to Australia and to help so many people in Australia with it. I think I enrolled 100 clients in Thinking into Results in my first year of being a PGI consultant. That was 2015, I came out of a branding and design business. I wanted to change my own life. I could see why I was stuck with my paradigms, with my self-image paradigm, that I was trying to change circumstances or behaviors without changing the root cause, which is the deepest part of my mind. And so, I remember going to my first consultant training with Bob, and he looked me dead in the eye. I'd met him a couple of times before that, and he'd said, "What do you really want, Karen?" And I said, "I want to help people all around the world change their life." And he said, "Well, change your own life first." He just looked me dead in the eye like only Bob Proctor can do. And so I did. I made it. I made a committed decision then and there that I'd be a product of that program, and I'd live my life and let my life be a demonstration that I understood the material, and that through the way in which I showed up and lived my life, that would demonstrate not only my understanding and application of it, but really allow me to teach and coach people at the deepest level so that they too can transform their life. And just really interesting, even this week, and I hadn't probably found these exact words prior to this week, but I had started to say in my videos and in my webinars, I don't want you to have what I have. I want you to have what you want. I want you to have your goals. I want you to have the results that you want. You don't have to want the same things that I want, but that doesn't mean that I can't help you, because the process that you create what you want is the same process that I created what I wanted. And I think that that is such a beautiful gift that Bob Proctor taught me, that it was never about, you have to want certain things or be like everybody else. It was, expressing your own spiritual essence and the desires that we have, the things that we want. Any desire that you have, anything that you want, is the spiritual side of you seeking expression, but you and only you can give it life. Your desires, your wants, your goals are born through you. And you got to learn how to close that gap, to move it from the non-physical to the physical, and how to really leverage the power of your mind and change those paradigms that keep you stuck. They keep you operating at 40, 50, 60 kilometers an hour when there's 100 kilometers an hour under the hood, when, you have the capacity to make a quantum leap. But, most people never use anywhere near the amount of potential and power that they've been gifted with. So I think this is just the beginning, 7 years of working very closely with Bob, and my heart just feels really grateful and humbled and blessed. And I just feel like, there's so much work to be done. And I was actually talking to my sister this morning. She called me and I said, what's really interesting about this is even just this last month, I've had these very vivid, clearly my higher side also knew something was going on, whilst I might not have understood it consciously, that my spirit was showing me. And I just kept on having these visions of I might have been doing this for a long time, but there is still another person out there that's just waking up to this, that it might be the first time they've ever heard me talk about a paradigm. It might be the first time they've ever heard me talk about TIR. It might be the first time they've ever, and, there is just so many people still to help understand, to take the awareness deeper, and for me to, do that and do a good job of that for the rest of my life, then I have to keep studying and growing and understanding, and, live with the same sort of attitude that Bob did right to the end, that there's always another level of awareness. That's another thing that was really beautiful when I met Bob. Sometimes I used to think that I wasn't good enough, or that I wasn't old enough, or I didn't know enough, or have enough money, or, always comparing. And he would always say to me, he'd say, "Karen, no one is better than or less than anybody else. We're all the same. We just operate with different levels of awareness." And that was just so soothing, that it wasn't about being better than or less than anybody else. It was about levels of awareness. You today perhaps have a different level of awareness with respect to a particular hobby than I have. I might have a different level of awareness with respect to earning money, or having whatever it is, flying an airplane. But it doesn't make me better than you, and it doesn't make you better than me in the area that you're skilled at. We just operate with different levels of awareness. And because we operate in an infinite universe, there's always another level of awareness that we can gain with respect to every single area of our life. There's just no end to it. And so, I have always said that this would be the work of a lifetime. And I just, continue to feel that we'll just keep doing this and keep helping the next person that wants to understand this and wants to close the knowing doing gap and really take control from within and create the life of freedom and really be in control of creating that programming, the paradigms that you really want, so you can have the results that you want in your life too. And God, there is so many more things that I could share with you, but I might leave it there for now. So yeah, just to remind you that, we are physical beings, but there is also this spiritual and vibrational side to us that we that we are constantly communicating with, and to remember that always, the law of vibration. And if you feel like you want to connect with Bob, he is in the highest vibration, our unconditional love. So you just have to feel love, and you're going to feel Bob, because he was all love and he was all for you. And I think that if you have a goal, or there is something that you want to achieve and create for your life, then the time is now. That you can only create in the now. You don't wait for things. You don't wait for a special occasion. You don't save. You just do. You figure it out and you get started and you make a decision. And I'm so grateful that I've learnt those lessons. There is no way that I would have created the success and been able to do what I do in helping you if I had constantly worried about the how. He really taught me to make that decision and go for it. And as much as we want other people, to sort of, do you believe I could do it? Bob would always say, it doesn't matter what I believe. What do you believe? And as you work on your self-image and as you improve your confidence and as you understand how to really control and direct the power of your mind and all of those little things that really come with studying this and understanding it and putting it all together into a plan, you just believe you can do so much more. I remember, I'll finish off with one more funny story. Oh my God, I could do this every day for hours. In 2019, I remember getting on a call. It was November, like the 27th, 2019. And I was going for a goal at the end of that year. And it was such a funny conversation. I think I actually recorded it. I hope I've still got it. It's not on one of my phones that died. But it was about belief. And he was like, it was so funny because I was like, but how do I believe, Bob? How do I believe? And he's like, you just got to believe, Karen. You've just got to believe it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. And it was just such a funny, beautiful conversation. And we pick up these little experiences as we go, and we change a paradigm and we learn a new thing. And then you pick up momentum. You're like, oh, well, I could do that. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could manifest that. Maybe I can change that paradigm. And you believe more and more every single day in yourself and in your ability to create the life that you want and the results that you want. So yeah, so many beautiful lessons along the way. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing his work and continuing to help the next person that wants to get into this and learn this process and experience thinking into results and the new thinking into results. And that you're here and you've been attracted here for a reason. And I will share over the next, forever, particularly in the next few weeks. I'll try to go through my phone and dig out lots of little videos for you, and the interview that we did together in 2018, sitting in his garden. That's a beautiful one on faith. But I've got lots on my phone, hopefully, that hasn't died. I've gone through a couple of phones in 7 years. Didn't back them up. No, didn't. So, but I think I've still got plenty there that I'll be able to dig out and share with you, and share in this time of celebration and legacy and may the way in which we continue to live our life, I think that's, the way in which we continue to live our lives, demonstrate our understanding and application of the lessons that he has taught us, you through me, him through me to you, however the message got to you, however you've come to be connected here today. It's all been perfect. And, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your messages. There's just a lot of love in the room right now. A lot of love for a great man who dared to understand and share it. And I remember him doing a seminar one day, and one person turned up he booked out this whole theatre, and one person turned up, and he wanted to grab his briefcase and run out of the room, but he didn't. He delivered that seminar like the room was full to that one person. And I remember that. I've done webinars when nobody has turned up, and I've done that webinar like it was a full room. I've done live events where there were 3 people in the room, and I've done that event with the same enthusiasm as though there were 1,000 people in the room. And you just get up every day and know that you can make the world a better place by just impacting and positively influencing one more person every single day. And look at us now. We have this amazing community, hundreds and hundreds of people that have experienced Bob's work through being here, connected through me. Maybe you knew it before you worked with me. Maybe this is the first time. Whichever it is, it's perfect. And I just feel so grateful for all the lessons, everything that he has taught me. And there's just so much love in the room right now, and I'm so grateful that you're all here, and thank you for your messages, and thank you for your love. And onwards we go, upwards and onwards we go. So thank you, Bob Proctor, and thank you everyone for being here. I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.